Last weekend, there was a controversy about the report of Global Hunger Index 2022. It's an international body which brings out the index every year. Normally, what we think about hunger, that some people are dying because they are not able to get food, that is not the measurement in Global Hunger Index. In this index, they try to see whether every individual is able to get the basic energy necessary for leading a human life. Energy and nourishment. So that's the indicator. India has been doing badly over the years. Last year, this came into bigger controversy because India, which was earlier in the top 100, fell below 100. India's position was 101. This year, Global Hunger Index mapped 121 countries, and India was right at the bottom at 107th position. India was keeping company with countries like Sudan, countries like Rwanda, countries like Congo. One country with which we have huge rivalry, China. China was in the top 10 in the index, comparing well with the rich Western developed countries. What was indeed a slap on India's face was that this report showed India doing poorly even in comparison to other South Asian countries. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal. The only country of South Asia that India did better was compared to Afghanistan, war-torn Afghanistan. Of course, the government of India had stubbornly rejected this index. Last year they did the same, and this year also they have come out with two arguments. One, that the parameters used for making this measurement are faulty. 3 of the 4 parameters only deal with the children and not with the grown-up men and women. The other objection is about the sample size, that India is a vast country and in which limited sample size, like in any other African or South Asian country, which population is much less, obviously betrays India's right message. There is certainly some logic in these objections. Yes, the sample size for a country like India is certainly small, and yes, there can be much greater parameters to measure the hunger, the micro deficiency in the population of India. But as the parameter it is, and which is accepted by all the countries of the world, and this has been happening for several decades. So we have to accept this report within all its limitations and judge for ourselves and decide for ourselves what we need to do. What are the parameters? The first parameter is that undernourishment. It's generally for the entire population. Government of India says that the data does not reflect. We have been giving PDS to all our people, poorest section of the society. But Global Hunger Index says that all these measurements have been made on the basis of the data available by the government itself. They do not have any independent source of data. They have acquired the data from different government agencies over the period of 1 year. And that's where, what is the situation in the undernourishment category? India's position has risen. India's undernourishment has risen from 14.6% in 2014 to 16.3% in 2021-22. The Global Hunger Index comparisons are for 7 years. You can compare the data of 2000, 2007, 2014, 2021, and then it can go on. Then the next comparison will be 2028. When you go to 2023, then the comparison will be for 2016. So India has again done, so India has done badly in malnourishment for the general population. And the second parameter is that of wasting. What is wasting? It refers to children who have low weight compared to their height. That's another indicator of undernourishment. And in this, also India's position is on very poor. It's risen from 15.1% in 2014 to 19.3% in 2022. It's indeed a very, very sad reflection that in last 8 years, our wasting has really risen very high. It's a matter of deep concern for all of us. But it is not that the Global Hunger Index is showing everything in India in a bad light. There are two categories India has done better. Third category is stunting, and stunting is low height compared to what it should be for the age of a child. And this category data shows that our performance declined from 38.7% in 2014 to 35.5%. What means? That in 2014, 38.7% children were suffering from stunting. Today, the number has come down to 35.5%. That is certainly a reasonable progress over the period of last 8 years. Another category, the fourth category, is the category of child mortality. And there also India has done reasonably well. There the data shows that in 2014, 4.6% children were dying at an early age, before the age of 5. But today, that number has come down to 3.3%, which is also a major improvement in so far as the child health is concerned. But when you combine all these four categories, then India has position compared to 2014 has come down only marginally from 28.2% to has gone up marginally from 28.2% to 29.1%. But this is certainly, it says that the Hunger Index says that it's a serious situation. It's certainly not alarming and not very alarming like the countries which are right at the bottom. But we need to take measures to ensure that we, a country, the fifth largest economy of the world, must do better. We must come in the top 50, if not top 20 of these in the index. If China, our rival country, if we want to compete with China in every level, has achieved this spectacular success, then we need to look into the Chinese steps. We need to emulate all those measures which they have taken to improve the quality of life for the poor in general and the poor children in particular. And let's take those lessons from China and let us improve India's position in the years to come. Thank you.